We're having a look at the Sienar test pilot, Cassian Andor, so let's check him out. It's been a while since I uploaded a video, and more time had actually passed than I realized because we've been busy out here lately, and time kind of flew by, and like I said, more had passed than I realized, so I finally decided to do a video today, and which I'll probably review the Skeletor next. That's how I do this one first, because I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I'll review the Chronicles Skeletor probably after this one. But so this is the Sienar test pilot Sienar. I don't know how it's pronounced, but this is from the Andor series. And I can't remember if this was at the end of season 1 or at the beginning of season 2. I know it's kind of in that time frame right there. And I watched all of season 1, and I watched part of season 2. I hadn't finished season 2 yet, but yeah, I really liked this outfit. I seen this figure the other day when I went up to around Muscle Shoals to the Sam's Club, and which actually wasn't in Sam's Club, but I went there, and then I went to a few other places. I went to Walmart and seen this one there, and I seen him. I knew I'd have. And they also had the Dark Troop armor Moff Gideon, which I already had that, so I didn't need it. But there's some other things I got too, which I'll show you here later. So, without further ado, let's get into his accessories, or should I say his packaging first? I mean, so here is his packaging, which is standard Black Series packaging that they use now. This is red and black, which that's a pretty good color scheme. It kind of reminds me of those Force Awakens ones they did when they came out with those, kind of that color scheme. That was a really good color scheme for those. But as you can see, it says Cassian Andor, Sienar test pilot there on the side, number 15, Star Wars Andor right there, some other things there at the bottom. And that's where the figure would be packaged. The Star Wars Black Series there on the top. On the side there's a picture of Andor in his test pilot outfit. As you can see, it says Cassian Andor, Sienar test pilot there at the bottom. On the back, it's got a, I can read it. If you want to read that, you can go ahead and pause it. And has that same picture there on the side and everything. Not much more there at the bottom. On the bottom of this either. And nothing there at the top. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. So for accessories, that's pretty easy. He only comes with 2. He comes with his blaster and his helmet. Now his blaster here, I've done several things on this particular blaster. This was with Migs Mayfield, which that was a little bit of a different color, but the same blaster. This also came with, I think, the Death Trooper. Yeah, so this is a pretty reused piece, but this blaster was made out of the real-life Swiss Russian bore submachine gun, which was like an attaché type submachine gun. You could take it apart and take the stock off the barrel and everything. Of course, the magazine, which they didn't put the magazine in the well there, as you can see. But the same gun was used also to make a pistol in Alien, which I thought was pretty cool. I did a short on that too. So you see, this one's a black color. All the other ones were like a gray color. This one's black, which makes it a little bit different. It's got a scope there on the top, which I think the real thing may have had a scope. I'm not for sure, but let's see. On the back there, that's my camera focus. There you go. That's where the stock were attached to the gun itself. You know, where the mag would have went in, and the barrel would have went on here. So pretty cool. A lot of details in there. This blaster pistol is used a lot in Star Wars. A lot of stormtroopers carry it. Everything. He can hold this in his, well, either one hand really. I always put it in his right hand because that's where his holster is. So I'll get into it in a second. So, he can get a pretty good grip on it. It looks pretty cool. And Andor does have a holster there on his right side where you can store this when he's not using it. Just slide it right in there, and it looks pretty cool. And he does come with his helmet, which looks like kind of like a TIE Fighter pilot helmet, which is not exactly a TIE Fighter pilot helmet, because a TIE Fighter pilot helmet was basically a in the original they made it out of a Rebel pilot helmet and the face of a Stormtrooper helmet, and just put them two together and painted it black. That's how they done that. And as you can see, this is not exactly like that. This looks more like a helmet that a jetpack Stormtrooper wears. That's what I think this is. I mean, it looks like it's got like a mohawk thing on the top, but it's got 2 Imperial logos there. It's like a shiny black, which looks really cool. It's got tubes going from the back to the front there, which is probably like air tubes, so you can breathe. As they connect to the back of the helmet there. On a lot of the jetpacks, when we in the TIE fighters, the tubing connects in a different spot. I think the tubes connect onto the chest plate, which these obviously does not, but she looks pretty good. I really like this helmet. Now, he can put this on his head, which is kind of a tight fit, but it looks pretty cool. It helps complete the look of this figure. For articulation, and Andor has a ball joint at the head and his neck there. He's got a hinge and swivel there at the shoulder, which does kind of break up colors there a little bit. But you can hinge it out and swivel. It's like a butterfly joint in there. So pretty good shoulder articulation. Got a double hinge there at the elbow. He's got a swivel there at the glove itself, and a hinge or ball joint there at the wrist. He's got some articulation there in his chest, which is hindered a little bit by the armor piece. There's none in the waist there. I thought there would be, but there's actually not. He's also got a ball joint there at the hip. He's got a double joint there at the knee. I'll camera there a little bit. He's got a cut there at the boot. And he's got a hinge and ankle pivot. So let's take a look at the sculpt, design, and color of Andor, starting with his head. And as you can see, now they use that photo real technology, and it's kind of it's got that grainy appearance to it there. But you can see it looks a lot like Diego Luna, the actor who plays Cassian Andor. And but that's pretty good likeness there. See, his hair's, they kind of got looks like a shiny pink there in his hair, makes it look a little shiny. It's got like a kind of a brown color there too, as you can see. And they also paint on his stubble that he usually has in the show. He always has some stubble, like a 5 o'clock shadow there. And as you can see, pretty good head sculpt. Now, I probably prefer this be with helmet on because I just think it looks cool that way. I like displaying him more as like an Imperial pilot. But, this head sculpt's pretty good though. If I ever display him without a helmet, I do like this head sculpt. Going down to his chest, he's got the black armor piece, which looks like a lot like the ones Death Troopers wear. And other specialized stormtroopers. It's like mostly shiny black, as you can see, but it's got a few paint details, like the buttons, like a red and white button there. There's some buttons there, a blue and white there, and a little red thing at the bottom. There's like some straps on the top there. On the back, as you can see, there's more paint details, like a white thing there, and more buttons and things like that. Red in the middle, gray on the outside. Some pretty good paint details on here. And underneath his armor, he's on a red and black jumpsuit, which red and black color scheme really goes good together. My figure's a little dusty from being on the shelf and stuff, so he's got some dust in the cracks and crevices of his jumpsuit there. But, and you can see he's got red on his shoulders. One shoulder, there's nothing there, and the other shoulder on his left shoulder is an Imperial logo. It's silver and black. Like I said, the red really goes good on this figure. Red and black, like I said, is a really good color scheme. You see he's got some code cylinders there in his left sleeve, which there's none on this side. And on the back, you can see it continues down the same color, everything. There's the same stitching and stuff in his outfit. And going down, it's got some web gear, like harness, that goes underneath his armor and around his belt and everything. There's the standard Imperial belt buckle, which is painted silver. It's got some silver pouches on his belt there. There's the holster for his blaster, with blasters in it. And you see, it's kind of got they sculpted like a leather grainy texture in it, which is pretty cool. It's should be like a snap or something, it looks like. I think it would be like a snap or something to keep the blaster in its holster, because a lot of holsters have a snap to keep your sidearm secure. But you see there's more web gear on the back there. As you can see, the belt has like a leather grain texture, which is really cool. Which I think, instead of being a full jumpsuit, I think this is just his normal pants and then the uniform jacket that goes over here. You see there's like a Sienar. A jumpsuit would just be all the way, one piece. So I think this is a normal, just pants and a uniform jacket. So pretty cool there. There's some more dust in the cracks there, but you can see there's his pants. As you can see, have some pockets and things on like that. A lot of sculpted wrinkles. His gloves are like shiny black. As you can see, there's some more buttons there on his jacket. And there's some sculpted details in his gloves there too. As you can see, there's like some individual lines and things like that. So pretty cool. And going down to his boots, there as you can see, his pants are tucked into his boots, which is a normal Imperial style. And these look like jack boots, which they're little shorter jack boots than what other Imperial officers wear. But as you can see, they're shiny, got like a leather texture sculpted into them, which looks pretty cool. And like I said, jack boots are the normal, standard Imperial boot, and they've sculpted two, the kind of how like a normal boot does in real life. It kind of bulges out from the sole there a little bit. So that's pretty good attention to detail. And on the bottom, there's not much there, but it does have peg holes. So here's this test pilot Andor compared to Moff Gideon in his Dark Trooper armor and the Purge Trooper Commander from the Jedi video games. And you may be wondering why I'm comparing these two to this figure. And that's because they all have the same color scheme, just about, as you can see. Which, like I said, I like red and black. That's a really good color scheme to go with. Which, that Purge Trooper I got right there came in a 2-pack with another, like ISB, Riot Control Stormtrooper or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but like I said, when I do a video on that, which I'll probably do soon, I'll have the correct name for it. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I really like the Purge Trooper. I think they're cool, so I'm going to do a video on that soon. Like I said, these figures look all pretty good together because like they all have the same color scheme. And when I bought, sorry, I just hit my table with my knee, but when I bought this figure the other day, I think that they had this one there too, which obviously I didn't need it because I already had it. But, so, now a little story time. So let me go to the other ones I bought that day, and I'll explain. Okay, so these are the 3 figures that I had bought that day. I came back with, and which we went up there that day to go to Sam's Club. It's kind of like Costco. It's a big bulk store. You buy groceries in big bulks and stuff, get good deals on all that stuff. So we went in there first, and actually before we went, I stopped at Target because I never actually been in Target before because where I live we don't have one, and I don't think there's any in the surrounding area where I live, so I had never actually been to one. And they had one up there beside Sam's Club, and I thought, maybe I'll go in there and see what they got, because I've never been in there, so maybe. And I looked there, they got some cool stuff in there, so I went in there and looked around, and they had, they were a little overpriced, but they had some pretty cool things in there. They had some, Chronicle stuff, and I was looking through the Black Series, and this figure right here, now Sister Mary right now, this is 6-inch one I've been wanting for a while, and which I'll do a review on soon, and I do have the Vintage Collection version. Most of the time I don't buy both of them, but I do have both of these figures because I like this game that she was from, so I ended up getting both of them. But so that day I went to Target, I was looking at the Black Series. Like I said, I've been wanting this figure for a while. I just hadn't got around to looking for one or stuff like that. So as I was looking through there, behind I can't remember what figure. There was 2 of the same figure. I can't remember which one it was, but I was moving around them, and there she was behind all the others at the end, and the only one there. So obviously, I had to buy her. So it's like she was just sitting there waiting for me to find her. So now I finally have her in my collection. And this figure right here, I bought both of these at Walmart, and which surprisingly, actually, when I went and looked at Walmart, they had this 2-pack with this Purge Trooper in there, which I didn't actually buy at the time because it was a little expensive, and I bought these other ones too, so I didn't want to get a little too crazy, spend too much money. But so I bought those 2 instead. I ended up the Purge Trooper, the 2-pack, ended up getting later for my birthday. So I lucked out. But at first I picked up this Mandalorian Super Commando, or Mandalorian, as a lot of fans call him. But I have reviewed this figure already, so if you want to look at that, you can. I reviewed it not too long ago. And so I bought him because I just like the design of those Mandalorian. I think they look cool. But and I also picked up Andor that day too. Like I said twice, I think already. I had this Moff Gideon and the Dark Trooper armor, which I said I didn't have to buy him, so I already had him. So I came back with some pretty good stuff. Like I said, obviously I've now reviewed this one. I've already reviewed this figure, so I'll review this one sometime soon. So what I think this figure overall, I really like this figure, and I highly recommend it. Now, if you're wondering why he's kind of leaning over a little bit, I had to kind of position him to balance himself out because my review station is not balanced properly, so he kept going topple over, so I had to balance him out a little bit. But other than that, getting back to the point, I really like this figure, and if you're an Andor fan or a big Star Wars fan, in my case, I highly recommend this figure, and it looks really cool. I think I prefer the helmet on because I think it just looks cool that way. Like I said, it helps kind of complete the look of the figure. Because there's a lot of other Andor figures out there that you can display as Andor. So I don't have any of those yet. I might buy some later. But so if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Help me a lot. Want to see some more Black Series reviews? Feel free to comment and tell me which ones you would like to see. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until next time.